Do you know that you're such a loser? I mean, you are already 42 years old. You don't have any kids and you're not even married. You're a total failure. I mean, don't you still live at your home with our parents? I can't believe that you're the older sister and yet, compared to me, younger sister, you're a complete loser. All you do is stay at all home all day and live off our parents' hard-earned money while you don't contribute anything at all. How can you even live with yourself when that's your life? Don't you think that that's just totally pathetic? You really are useless, you know that.
Joanne, it had been so long since I last heard from you that I was beginning to hope that you had finally given up on ever wanting to talk to me again. But I guess you were just waiting to come at me with a whole slew of new insults, weren't you? I guess I can't really say that I'm surprised at you for doing this, though. But it's okay, because that means that I can't say that I didn't see it coming either. So if this is all you have to say to me, I hope we can make this quick.
Aw, poor little loser. Did you really think that you could get rid of me that easily? You think that just because you're single that your little sister would forget all about you? Don't you worry. I was thinking for so long about how sad and lonely and pathetic you must feel about yourself all the time. Not only that, but unlike you, I've been very, very busy raising my children, something that you are never, ever going to have to do in a million years because you can't have kids.
Is that what you've been busy with? Well, I guess you deserved this little break to insult me then, didn't you?
Even through text, I can almost see you shaking with rage as you type the last message. You make it way too easy to get under your skin. Do you know that?
No, it's not that. It's just that I really don't have time to waste on you if all you're going to do is talk down to me.
Well, then don't you worry, because that isn't the only thing that I wanted to talk to you about. The thing is that my family and I are thinking of moving back into my parents' house. So what do you think about that, huh?
Hold on a second. All of you are going to come and live here again? Why? What happened to bring this on all of a sudden? Do you seriously think that you can just show up at the house unannounced and move in because you say so? Because that is not how that is going to work. Do you understand me?
Oh, come on now. You make it sound like I'm being some kind of completely unreasonable monster for something like that. The truth is that I'm actually about to have my 5th child. Pretty amazing, don't you think? Do you even know anyone who has 5 kids? I seriously doubt it. It's almost ironic, isn't it? I get all the kids while you get none. Sometimes the universe just likes to play cruel little jokes on the losers in this world, huh? But anyways, I'm telling you this so that you know that it's time for you to pack up your bags and leave now.
Oh, well, congratulations on the 5th child then. I guess some kind of celebration should be in order or something, right? And your husband must be happy since this is the first child that you're having with him. Isn't that right?
And just what is that supposed to mean, huh? It's fine. You don't have to answer that. It's clear that you're just jealous and trying to rain on my parade is all.
And aren't I allowed to do that after the way that you've treated me over the years? Why are you the only one that gets to insult me? Besides, you're the one who thinks that you can kick me out of the house just because you're having another child.
Well, that's exactly right. This is going to be my 5th child, so it's important that my husband and I have enough space for everyone to run around. And since you're not going to be pumping out any kids anytime soon, you can go ahead and just move out, you fat, ugly cow.
There you go again, thinking that you can give me orders while you insult me. Just what makes you think that I'm going to listen to you if you treat me like this? Do you really think that I'm just going to bend over backwards to give you whatever it is that you want? That isn't going to happen. Just because I'm not married and don't have any kids doesn't mean that I don't have a role to play in this house. I mean, you do realize that I'm the one taking care of our parents, don't you? Do you really think that you and your husband taking care of all 5 of your kids are going to be able to give mom and dad the care they need at their age? And do you really think that mom and dad are going to go along with kicking out me, their live-in nurse, just so that you can invade their home? I mean, all that is going to do is make so much more work for them. I bet you were hoping that you would get to use mom and dad as a free babysitting service, right? Well, I can tell you right now that they don't want that at all, and you're being delusional if you think that's what's going on.
Whoa, you must be really thinking that the world revolves around your lonely, childless self, don't you? How dare you think that you can tell me what I can and can't do? And how dare you try and speak for our parents too?
I'm trying to speak for anyone but myself, but the fact of the matter is that I've been living here for years and I am much more in tune with what our parents want than you are.
You're always like that. You always think that just because you're the older sister that you can boss me around as if we're kids or something like that. Do you not understand that I'm literally pregnant with my 5th child right now? I'm ready to burst any moment now, basically. How dare you try and turn away a poor mother just wanting a home for her children and family, all so that you can continue not to pay any rest at all?
I didn't ever say anything about being the older sister at all. You were the one who brought that up right now. What are you even talking about?
There you go again, making excuses and trying to take back what you said as if you didn't already say it. But let's just go over the facts of matter at hand here. I have 5 kids and you have none. I have had 3 husbands and you have had none. So basically, that makes me the better daughter of the 2 of us. And that means that you need to give up the house to me right now.
I don't even know if you're reading the messages that I'm sending you anymore, but you are clearly just deluded if you think any of what you're saying means anything. All I'm saying is that if you show up to mom and dad's place one day with all your kids and your husband in tow, that they are not going to be happy with you. Why are you so intent on being a burden to our parents when they're this old already?
You still just don't get it at all, do you? Then again, I guess a single barren shrew like you couldn't get it really.
What don't I get? What on earth could you possibly be talking about now?
The only person who's here is causing any trouble for our parents. The only person holding them back, ruining their retirement, and ruining their lives is you, Amy. You're nothing but a parasite in that house, and you're literally sucking the life out of mom and dad before their very eyes. I can see it clearly as they too. But you're the one deluding that yourself, you're just helping them. But the truth is that you're the one that's bad here, not me. I'm just trying to do what's best for my family. Don't you get that?
You know, Joanne, I am sure that you are the only person who feels that way about me. Because I am sure that if you went and asked mom and dad, they would not call me a parasite.
Are you really sure about that? Is that the case? Or is it just that they're too sweet to hurt your feelings and too feeble to realize what is it that you're doing to them? You really think that they enjoy having their eldest daughter unmarried and childless around them all the time? You really need to grow up and face the facts.
How dare you tell me not to speak for mom and dad when you are pretending to know what they're thinking and keeping inside them? I have no idea where you are getting any of these ideas from, but I am just getting sick and tired of you treating me like this.
Well, it's only going to get worse for you because all of our bags are packed here and we are going to be headed over to the house tomorrow.
Hold on a second. You all are going to be arriving here tomorrow? But there's not even a room here ready for one guest, let alone a whole family like yours.
Well, then I guess you had better make sure that there is by the time we get there, or else things are going to get much worse for you, I can assure you that. And don't forget to pack your bags too, because we are not going to be sharing that house with someone like you. Do you understand me?
Why do you always have to talk to me like this? Why can't we ever just have a nice, polite conversation where you don't insult me with every other message that you send, huh?
I wouldn't have to insult all the time if you would just shut up and listen to me like you ought to. Anyways, I've told you our schedule. You better make sure that everything is ready for us by the time we get there, or else. Got it?
Joanne, I am trying to tell you that this is not going to work out. You and your family can't come and live here. Are you even reading any of these messages? I am telling you that you can't come and live here.
Well, you finally forced our hand, Amy. You weren't moving out even though we gave you more than enough warning. So I took it up upon myself to gather up all your belongings around the house and get rid of them all. Now the house is finally free of your presence and we can live here comfortably.
Excuse me? You did what? Did you really gather up my things and get rid of them? Why would you do that? What is the matter with you?
I already told you why I did it. We told you to move out. You didn't listen to us. You didn't give me any other choice. Don't you realize that? Hopefully now you realize that I was being serious and you'll move out like I told you in the first place.
You do realize that you've already pushed out our own parents out of their house too, don't you? When you showed up with all your kids and your husband, you put way too much on Mom and Dad's plate all at once. You put the house into such chaos that I couldn't even do the things I normally would to take care of them.
And just whose fault is that for not thinking of a solution to that problem before we all showed up? I don't understand why you would even bother to ask for help when you know that I'm already too busy with all my kids.
Well, that's fine, but why even come here and live in the house if you aren't going to help take care of it, or Mom and Dad who were already living here, huh?
How dare you try and talk to me like that when you're nothing but a filthy little parasite? You don't get to talk to me or boss me around. If anything, you should be apologizing to me for still even being in the house. It's all your fault that things aren't going well because you didn't listen to me when I tried to warn you that we're coming. And I know that Mom and Dad are more than happy that we're all here with them right now. Are you really telling me that they would rather live with just you over being so close to all of their grandchildren? No way.
Look, I am telling you that Mom has told me that she is really upset that you all just showed up here one day and decided that you were going to be living here, okay?
And I'm telling you that I don't buy a word of that, okay? You're nothing but a parasite and I'm not going to listen or take orders from you. I mean, you aren't married and you don't have any kids, so what do you know about living together with a family, huh? Maybe you should just have learned from my example and follow my path. But you didn't. And now, look at you. You're lonely, pathetic, and worst of all, you don't have any children at all. I have 5 kids. That makes me 5 times the daughter that you are. Got it? You're just an ugly, unwanted little nobody who is never ever going to be loved by anyone. So why don't you just leave the house already? The only ones who are going to have to leave the house are you, your husband, and all your little kids too. And just how are you going to make us do that, huh? Are you really going to ruin how happy we've made by being here all because you're upset that I've taken your place in the house? You stupid little ingrate. This is your mother speaking to you right now. Wait, what? What do you mean? Mom, is that really you? Are you texting me from Amy's phone? Oh, that's right. And Amy has shown me all of the horrible messages that you've been sending her, which means that I have seen all the cruel insults that you've been hurting at her too. Did you really think that any of this was okay? You know that I can't let you get away with this, don't you? I want you and your family to pack your things and get ready to leave. I'm going to call a friend who owns a truck and he'll move you back into your house. Wait, hold on, Mom. Are you serious about this? You aren't really just going to kick us out of here, are you? I mean, we just moved in and settled down. Besides, I thought that you would have been happy to be living with your favorite daughter and near all of your grandkids too. Of course I'm serious. I mean, did you really think that you could just barge in here and suddenly announce that you're going to be living here? Don't you think that I can't even walk properly? Your sister has here been helping me around and do things around the house this whole time. But now I can hardly even hear myself think, much less move around freely with all these people in my house. Please, you've got to be kidding me, right? This is some kind of joke. You're not really Mom. It's just Amy pretending to be you, right? Why are you asking me this via text when we're all in the same house? You can come up to my room and ask me to my face if you really want to know. In fact, do that right now. I want to talk to you right this second. In the meantime, I'm going to call my friend and have him bring his truck over. Tell your husband and children that they need to pack up all their things right now. But why would you do that? Why do you need to call your friend and ask him to bring his truck over? I don't understand. I already told you why. It's so that he can take all your crap out of my house. So then you're really serious? You're going to choose Amy over your other daughter, all your grandchildren? Do you think it's easy to get 4 children to pack up all their things and move all the way over here? We just got here. I don't care if you moved in here with a whole football team. You are all doing nothing but causing chaos and making a mess of my home, and I'm furious with you. Why are you even coming back if you're not going to do anything to help me out? I was happy to be here with your dad and Amy. But I really didn't know that. I thought that Amy was just being a parasite. I thought you would have liked to be with the family. You mean you thought you could just do this without even asking me about it first? I thought it would be a nice surprise for you, is all. Besides, I never once told you that you would be allowed to live here, and had you asked, I still would have said no. Please, you can't kick us out though. We already canceled the lease on our old place, and we don't have anywhere else to go. Well, it sounds to me like that's a problem for you and your husband to figure out amongst yourselves. But I want you all out of my house, and if you don't leave, I will make you two leave. Do you understand me? Now, I'm going to put your sister back on while I call my friend. I'm serious. If you don't start backing up right now, we will just start throwing your things outside. But you can't do that to me. It isn't fair. I was just trying to think of my family. You can understand that, right?
Hello, Joanne? It's Amy again. Well, I guess this is what you get for trying to kick me out of Mom and Dad's place without even talking to them about it first.
This isn't fair. How could Mom do this to me? I can't help if that's what she wants. I don't mind helping at all.
I really don't think that Mom wants any help from you or your children or your husband at all. I mean, do you even know the first thing about nursing?
Well, I bet I could figure it out.
And you're really just taking our own mom's life into your hands like that? You really are one of the most selfish people that I have ever met. Do you know that? I wasn't just living with Mom and Dad because I didn't have anywhere else to go. I literally went to nursing school. I learned about elder care. I have skills that they need. I wasn't being a parasite either. Mom and Dad and I had a deal where I could live with them in exchange for taking care of them like I had been.
But I thought that you were just trying to kiss up to Mom and Dad so that they would give you more of their inheritance.
If you think you're getting a penny of that at all now, then you really do need to talk to Mom. She's telling me that she's going to call her lawyer next and have you taken out of her will.
What? Would she really do that? But that isn't fair.
Also, she said if you don't start packing up your things right now, that she would call the cops and force you all out.
Oh no! How did this all come to this? This isn't fair!
In the end, Joanne and her family were able to pack up their bags and get her family moved out of Mom and Dad's place. Although her husband was furious with her, and I heard that they were going to get a divorce. After hearing about that, however, I decided to block Joanne on everything and have done my best to avoid hearing about her ever since. At this point, I just hope that her kids turn out okay with such a wreck of a mother. As for my parents and I, we decided that it would be better to move somewhere new where Joanne couldn't find us, and with more amenities for my parents.
Rachel, you live in that luxury high-rise, right?
Long time no see, Sarah. Yes, we do live in a high-rise. Why do you ask?
Just checking. You posted some nice photos on social media.
Oh, those photos from last month? Thanks.
Must be nice having all that space to yourself.
Well, it's a reasonable size for us.
Well, my husband and I have been thinking it's so unfair that you guys get to live in a fancy high-rise while our family is stuck in a tiny rundown house. I mean, we have 5 kids. It's way too cramped. It's selfish for just you two to have such a nice place, so we decided that we're moving in. Starting today, it's the 9 of us. Me, my husband, and our 5 kids, and you and your husband. We're counting on you.
Wait, what? You're joking, right?
Why would I joke about something like this?
You can't just decide something like this on your own.
Why not? Family should help family. Look, we basically left with just the clothes on our backs, so we don't have any household items or furniture. You'll need to get everything ready for us.
Hold on, you can't just spring this on me.
What's so hard to understand? You have space. We need space. What's the problem? You obviously have extra rooms anyway, so just let us live there. This is why women your age without kids are so awful. You just can't understand other people's feelings.
As I always say, whether someone has kids or not is completely irrelevant.
Easy for you to say when you're living in luxury.
Excuse me?
Yeah, whatever. I'm not asking for much, so stop being difficult and just accept it.
Who's being difficult here? And what do the kids think about all this?
Huh? Why are you suddenly acting concerned about the kids? Who cares what they think? Kids are supposed to do what their parents tell them.
Are you serious? They have their own feelings and opinions.
Like you would know anything about raising kids. A childless woman has no right to lecture me. Anyway, we'll be there soon, so hurry up and get everything ready.
Sarah, this is completely unreasonable.
Being unreasonable is refusing to help family in need. Just get the rooms ready. We'll sort out the details when we get there.
There are no details to sort out if you haven't even asked permission.
Permission? Since when does family need permission to help family? We're already on our way, so stop complaining and be useful for once.
Kevin, are you okay? Are you all safe?
Aunt Rachel, I'm so sorry. I can't believe this is happening.
Are you somewhere you can message freely?
Yes, I'm in the back of the train. Mom and Dad are in a different car.
You don't need to apologize, Kevin, but can you tell me what's going on?
Everything's falling apart. Mom and Dad just suddenly told us to pack.
What? Why did they say that?
Well, we couldn't pay our rent anymore, so we got evicted.
You're kidding.
I wish I was. We got the final notice last week.
What do you mean they couldn't pay rent? Aren't your parents working?
Dad can't keep a job. He lost his last one 3 months ago, and Mom refuses to work. When she does go out, it's usually to the casino. I've been working part-time while going to high school, but that's not enough to cover rent, let alone living expenses.
Oh no. Why didn't you talk to me sooner? Remember when you used to stay with us at our old place? I told you then that you could always message me if something was wrong. Did you forget?
I remember. I wanted to call so many times, but I knew it would be trouble for you.
You shouldn't worry about that. You've been dealing with too much on your own.
But you don't get along with my mom, so I thought I should just deal with it myself.
So, we made you feel like you had to be considerate of us. I'm sorry, Kevin. I should have noticed sooner.
It's not your fault, Aunt Rachel. You were always there when I needed help.
Your mom said you're heading to our place. Where are you now?
We're on the train, about 2 hours away. Remember when you showed Grandma pictures of your high-rise when you moved? Ma saw them too and remembered the building's name. She searched for it online, and that's where we're heading.
I see. Well, I understand the situation now. Let me tell you about our place, Kevin, since you might need this information soon. And I'll tell you what you should do when you arrive at the building that your parents are taking you to.
What do you mean?
Just remember what I'm about to tell you. It might be important later.
Okay, I'm listening.
First, about that building.
Have you finished preparing everything? Well, it doesn't matter if you haven't. We're moving in either way.
How could I possibly prepare anything on such short notice?
Don't act like this is such a burden. You have plenty of space.
Kevin just told me everything. This is happening because you both refused to work and got evicted, right?
You've been talking to Kevin behind my back? Since when were you two close enough to have each other's contact info?
I gave him my number when he got his first phone. I told him to contact me if he ever needed help.
You had no right to do that without asking us first.
I just did it because I was worried about the children.
Huh? Whatever. You're not trying to act like his mother, are you?
I've never tried to replace anyone.
He's our child. Remember that.
I've never thought of him that way.
Then why are you secretly talking to him?
He's my nephew. Can't I keep in touch with him?
Yeah, right. Childless women are always so pushy. Who knows what goes on in the head of someone without kids? Acting all high and mighty in society when you haven't even produced anything.
My worth isn't determined by having children.
Come talk to me after you've carried a child for 9 months.
Stop making assumptions about my feelings, and this has nothing to do with our current situation.
It has everything to do with it. You don't understand family. You might not know this, but society sees childless women as burdens. Just look at how the government treats them.
So, my feelings don't matter at all to you?
Why should they? You're living in luxury while we struggle. I'm not free enough to worry about a burden's feelings. We're at the station now. We're almost there, so text me your apartment number when we arrive.
Oh, you're almost there? Must have been quite a journey coming all the way to Germany.
Huh? Germany? Did you typo or something?
Nope, I'm being serious. I'm surprised you managed to make it all the way here.
What are you talking about now? Stop playing games. Just send the apartment number. I'll text you when we arrive. Be ready to welcome us. Got it?
Well, you won't find us there anyway.
What's that supposed to mean? Stop being difficult and give us the apartment number. Answer your phone already! How long are you going to keep us waiting? We're exhausted from traveling, and you're still making us wait!
You're the one who needs to stop. Do you even know what time it is?
Of course I know what time it is! We've been waiting for over an hour!
No, I mean, why are you messaging me this early in the morning?
What? It's not even 11 a.m.
It's almost 4 a.m. here.
Huh?
If you can't handle time zone calculations, stop playing these games.
Time zones? Don't tell me you're actually in Germany.
That's what I've been telling you.
But that's impossible. The building is right here.
That's not the building I'm living in.
You're lying, right? I looked up your apartment building's name and found it right here in the States. That's why we came here. Plus, the building name is in English. Wouldn't it be in German if it was in Germany? Don't try to fool me with such obvious lies. You really didn't think this through at all, did you?
Of course the building name is in English. I live in an apartment complex for international residents. The fact that there's a building with the same name in the States is just a coincidence.
No, you must be lying. You're really in Germany? Then where are we supposed to sleep tonight? We were evicted and left with practically nothing.
You should have thought about that before abandoning your home. If you're at a high-rise, there must be hotels nearby. Since it's still morning there, you should be able to find a cheap hotel with vacancies.
Hotels cost money. We can't stay somewhere. We don't have money for that. We spent almost everything just getting to this apartment.
You didn't even consider the possibility we might say no?
Of course not. Why would you say no to family? If you refused, I was planning to call the police and tell them we were locked out to get inside.
I can't believe you.
What else were we supposed to do?
Look, there's nothing I can do. We're not in the States. We physically can't help you.
You're abandoning us! That's ridiculous! We have 5 kids here! Don't you care what happens to them? This is why childless people are sick! They can't understand the importance of children!
Stop with the insults! Why don't you ask your own family for help instead of trying to mooch off us?
I already tried that. They won't help anymore. They said they refuse. That's why we're desperate. You should have figured that out yourself.
No, I really shouldn't have. But it sounds like they've had enough of you too, huh? Well, that makes it even less my problem. There's nothing I can do, so stop interrupting my sleep. Good night.
Don't you dare ignore me, you heartless, childless witch! Are you awake? I mean, are you alive? One night sleeping rough shouldn't kill you. Are all 5 of you there?
Mom! I can't believe you actually left us and went to an internet cafe!
Don't take that tone with me. We're all suffering here.
The youngest ones were crying all night!
What choice did I have? We didn't have enough for a hotel and nowhere else to go. We only had enough money for 2 adults at the internet cafe. Unlike you kids with your endless energy, we adults are delicate. You're in high school now. You should understand that.
I didn't want to know my own parents could abandon their children so easily, but you left your children alone on the street. Until now, I've put up with everything because you raised me and I was worried about my siblings, but I've reached my limit.
How dare you talk to us like this? Hey, you're blaming the wrong person. This isn't our fault. It's Rachel's fault for not telling us she lives in Germany.
No, that's wrong. This is your and Dad's fault for getting us evicted in the first place.
We're your parents. Show some respect.
Come to think of it, I can't remember a single time you've acted like real parents. Both you and Dad spent money on yourselves instead of us kids. And even though we never had enough for basic needs, you'd quit jobs whenever you felt like it. Even when I offered to drop out after middle school to work full-time for my siblings' sake, you wouldn't let me because it would look bad. I ended up going to high school, but I have to work late just to keep us afloat. When I begged you to do something about this situation, all you cared about was getting my paycheck. I don't want to think of people like you as my parents.
You ungrateful child! Kevin, how dare you talk to your parents like that?
It's the truth! Aunt Rachel has been more of a parent than either of you. When I was little and she looked after me, she always made warm, home-cooked meals and helped me with my homework when I didn't understand something. You've never done anything like that for any of us.
That was years ago. You can't compare that to raising 5 kids.
Then what about when it was still just me?
Well, I don't remember. But even if we didn't do those things, it's because we were busy working.
Busy working? When was the last time either of you held a job for more than a month? And FYI, Aunt Rachel was working too. And what's your excuse for after you quit working? Did you ever praise my siblings even once when they showed you their good test scores?
School isn't everything.
It is for us.
Shut up! A high school kid lecturing their parents. You have no right.
No matter how seriously I tried to talk to you, you never took me seriously because I'm a kid. But you didn't want a kid. You wanted someone you could control. Fine. If you only see us as convenient tools instead of family, then we'll stop thinking of you as family too. My siblings feel the same way.
They're just following your bad example.
Unfortunately, that's not all it is.
Come on, what's a kid who hasn't even graduated high school saying? You still need parental supervision.
The 5 of us are gonna stay with Grandma and Grandpa.
What? My in-laws? They hate me. They'll poison you against us. Besides, that's pointless. They refuse to help no matter how many times I asked.
Maybe because they saw through your lies. Aunt Rachel arranged it. Actually, maybe Grandma and Grandpa didn't trust you because you always twisted things to suit yourself. When Aunt Rachel explained our real situation, they immediately offered to take us in.
That witch! She's turning everyone against us. So you're abandoning your parents to save yourselves?
Say whatever you want. We're heading to Grandma's house now.
You can't just leave. Huh? But you don't have money.
Aunt Rachel sent us money through digital transfer saying we'd need it for a while. She sent enough that we could stay in a hotel last night. Thanks to her, my siblings got to sleep in real beds. That really helped.
She gave you money behind our backs? While we were cramped in an internet cafe, you guys were in a hotel?
Just so you know, this money is from Aunt Rachel specifically for us kids. You're not getting any of it.
You ungrateful child!
Who are you talking about?
At least give us enough money to get home. I'll never forgive you. Answer your phone.
What time do you think it is? This is the second time I have to say this. What is wrong with you?
Shut up, shut up! Everything is your fault! You turned our kids against us by poisoning their minds! You've ruined all our plans! We had it all figured out! Each kid would send us $500 a month, and we wouldn't have to work. That's why we had 5 kids. But if they abandon us, what's the point?
You had children just to use them as your retirement plan? That's not my problem. And what kind of twisted reason is that to have children? They're not your retirement plan. They're people with their own lives. Why can't you understand that?
You don't understand because you never had kids. There you go again, a childless woman acting all high and mighty.
Stop with the childless comments already.
Why should I? It's true.
You have no idea what you're talking about.
I'm just stating facts.
Enough! I've told you before. We couldn't have children because I had a miscarriage. Do you understand the pain of wanting children but not being able to have them? No, you don't need to understand. But at least leave me alone. Instead, every time we meet, you mock me for not having children, calling me a burden to society. What have I ever done to you? How have I inconvenienced you by not having children? Stop using me as a tool to make yourself feel superior. You're the awful woman who can't consider others' feelings at your age.
Well, but that doesn't give you the right to interfere in someone else's family.
Someone has to protect those kids. If you were functioning as a proper family, I wouldn't say anything. But you're not. The kids are always suffering because of you. Yet, instead of feeling responsible, you only think about yourselves. And apparently, you're planning to have them support you in the future too. What do you think their lives are?
They owe us for raising them. No matter how much you interfere, in America, children can't completely cut ties with their parents. If we ask our kids for help, there's nothing wrong with that.
That's what you think. We'll do everything we can to stop that. When we return to the States soon, we're going to talk to social services about the children's custody.
You can't do that!
Yes, my husband and I weren't blessed with children, but that's exactly why we're determined to protect Kevin and his siblings. I've sworn to protect these kids' future. You used to dump the kids on us at the in-laws' place, but I was actually grateful. I'm thankful that I got to be like a mother, even if only temporarily.
So you admit you were trying to steal them? So what are we supposed to do? We have no money to go home and no home to go back to. You're only protecting the kids. Are we just supposed to rot?
Try taking responsibility for once. What kind of adults are you? Stop whining and get jobs, even if it means getting part-time or day jobs. That's not asking much.
No way! Day labor isn't a proper job!
You really can't think beyond your own narrow perspective. Fine, then sleep on the streets forever.
You're so cruel!
You might not know this, but people who can work but choose not to are the real burdens on society. And I'm not free enough to worry about burdens.
You're twisting my words! Hey, you're going to help us anyway, right? Everything you said before was just a joke, right?
I don't joke about things like this.
But we're family! I'm so hungry, Rachel.
Aunt Rachel, thank you for all your advice.
How are you settling in at your grandparents'?
Everyone's doing much better now. The younger ones are smiling again.
I'm here for you anytime you need me. Well, except in the middle of the night.
Sorry about that night. About that time when Mom... I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I wasn't blaming you. What she did was her responsibility. Don't apologize for that. How is everything? Do you need anything?
Grandma and Grandpa have been amazing. They're helping me with college applications. Thanks to you, we're all living the life we dreamed of now. I don't have to work excessive part-time hours anymore, and I can focus on my studies properly. Because of that, I now have a dream.
A dream? Tell me about it.
Well, it might sound impossible.
Nothing's impossible if you work for it.
Actually, after high school, I want to go to Germany. I've been researching universities there. I've always wanted to help people, and I want to become a doctor.
That's wonderful, Kevin. I'll help you with that. When you come to Germany, you can stay with us.
Really? You'd let me stay with you guys?
Of course. We'd love to have you here. Looks like our family will grow by one next year. I'm looking forward to it.
I've already started learning German online.
That's perfect. It will help you prepare.
Thank you, Aunt Rachel, for everything.
Afterward, Sarah and Mike, having no money to return home and barely able to afford meals, finally started looking for day labor jobs, though they were still reluctant to work. However, their contemptuous attitude towards others made it hard to keep jobs, and they barely earned enough for daily expenses. When they finally returned to the in-laws' house and saw the children thriving there, they started berating them for abandoning their parents. Since we had already consulted with the police and lawyers, when the mother-in-law called the police, they gave Sarah and Mike a stern warning. Finally understanding that the entire family had abandoned them, Sarah and Mike now spend their days fighting and blaming each other while doing day labor jobs to survive. As for me, I continue living in Germany, occasionally returning to the States to check on the children. Kevin, who came to Germany this spring, is now studying German while preparing for university entrance exams starting in fall. He had already been studying German while in the States, so he has no problem communicating with locals. I'm proud of my nephew. He's truly exceptional. The younger children have flourished under their grandparents' care. Their grades have improved significantly, and they're finally able to participate in after-school activities like normal kids their age. The second oldest has discovered a talent for music, while the twins have joined the school's science club. The youngest, who used to be so quiet, has become quite the artist. Hearing about Kevin's move to Germany, his siblings have also expressed interest in coming here, so we might need to consider moving from our apartment to a house if our family is going to grow this much. My husband and I have already started looking at larger homes in family-friendly neighborhoods near good schools. The thought of having a house full of young people studying, laughing, and pursuing their dreams fills me with joy. Sarah and Mike occasionally try to contact the children through social media, usually demanding money or trying to guilt-trip them, but the kids have learned to prioritize their own well-being. The grandparents have been instrumental in helping them understand that they don't owe their parents anything for basic parental obligations that were barely met. Looking back, while I wish things had turned out differently with Sarah and Mike, I'm grateful that the children are finally able to live the life they deserve. Sometimes, family isn't about who raised you, but about who supports your dreams and helps you grow. As I watch Kevin adapt to life in Germany and prepare for his future in medicine, I know that while I may not have been able to have children of my own, I found something just as meaningful: the chance to help these young people build better lives for themselves.